This is probably going to save every single relationship that you have. Yeah, most likely. And I got the answer. Have you ever had that person, maybe in the past, maybe in the present, might have it in the future, who drives you crazy? Could be an in-law, could be a neighbor, could be somebody you work with. But every time you're near them, they make you crazy. Or maybe you're that person. Do you ever have somebody who's like, they're kind of ignoring me? How come they don't invite me? Why do they seem short-tempered all the time when they're around me? Maybe it's you, but it's not. You see, it's called triggers. Now, all of you know triggers, but I found a whole new twist around it. But I'm going to tell you astrologically, if you have these in your chart, and most of us have, well, we all have all zodiac signs in our chart, but some are stronger than others. The sign of Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn, and Pisces. Now, if you got a predominant amount of those in your chart, whether you got a whole bunch of planets in those houses, or you've got a whole bunch of planets in those signs, or you've got like Pluto or Mercury in up against maybe your sun or your moon, etc. Anyways, that matters as well. Of course, I'm a professional astrologer, so I see this right away. Now, what happens is you are ruled by guilt, duty, responsibility, and or you are a very strong empathic. So a lot of people are going to be triggered by you if they're not in touch with their own triggers. And a lot of people are going to trigger you because, let's say it's your in-laws. Oh, I have a responsibility, I have a duty, I have to go there every Sunday night, whether I like it or not. If I'm in a mood or not in a good mood. And then my mother-in-law is going to cook food I don't like. She's going to dote on her son, which makes me crazy because he just eats it up. And I'm not going to be that kind of wife. I'm going to go to work and that girl's going to be there again. She's there 3 times a week and she's always telling us what to do. She's trying to microorganize, micromanage. And I feel a sense of duty that I have to do it. I have to live up to it because I'm a dutiful, responsible person. And if I don't do that, I'm going to feel an enormous amount of guilt. So duty, 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 duty. Guilt, 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 guilt. So then you start getting what's called CPTSD, which is PTSD, a mild thing that happens consistently. Then it gets to the point where you start getting nervous, agitated, even your whole central nervous system starts to act up. You'll get physical symptoms, maybe you'll get stomach issues, you'll get nervousness, you'll get tightness in your gut, might even not function as your adrenals or start shooting out adrenaline, your cortisol is going to go up. I know, it's freaking you out, right? But don't worry, I got an antidote to it. And then before you even get there, even if you have every good intention, this time it's going to be different. Your body doesn't know that. Your body's prepared. It's prepared for battle. It's prepared for protection. So many of you are saying, you know what? I just can't do it anymore. I'm divorcing my in-laws. I'm divorcing my relatives. I'm divorcing my friend. I'm quitting that job. I'm going to yell at my husband. You're going to go home and bitch about it. About whoever's triggering you, to your partner, to your friends, to your neighbors, to anybody who'll listen. But that's not going to fix it either, because you still have this enormous amount of guilt inside. You still have this enormous amount of sense of duty. And what it's called is misplaced characteristics. Okay, so what happens is you got a disposition of feeling guilty, and this helps navigate you to do the right thing. You have a disposition of having a sense of duty and responsibility, and this also helps navigate you and propel you into getting better and better in life and to doing the right thing. But a lot of times it's misplaced. There's a lot of times where you don't have to do the right thing. You shouldn't even do what's called the right thing, and you're not authentic. You know, you can't tell your mother-in-law, I really don't like mashed potatoes, but thanks anyways. You know, and if you've been eating the mashed potatoes for like 10 years, she'll be like, why didn't you ever tell me you didn't like mashed potatoes? I didn't know you didn't like mashed potatoes. You've been eating mashed potatoes even though you don't like them. You're going to have to deal with that because you weren't authentic 10 years ago. Come on, I'm preaching to the choir, so I get it. But first you have to figure out what your trigger is. Is it guilt? Is it duty? Is it responsibility? Is it that you're so sensitive and you're so empathic that you can feel that their feelings are being hurt and you don't think they have any big girl pants? They can't take care of their own emotions, so you got to do it for them. And you're inauthentic again. So then you got to swallow this up, and guess what happens? You, if you're a woman, you'll get autoimmune disorder. Yeah, arthritis, thyroid, fibromyalgia, digestive issues, constipation, IBS. So the first thing is observation. They did this in the double split theory last 1940s. It was an accident, and they found out that observation, you can look it up, double slit theory. They found out that observation actually made protons act completely different than when they're not observed. So what you want to do is you want to, the sun coming in a certain way, you want to observe your actions. Say, okay, Holly, it's guilt. It's the way I was raised. Anyways, when I see people's charts, yeah, maybe somebody triggered you when you were young too, but when you got a trigger, it doesn't take much. Okay, that's why they'll be like, how can my mom and my sister have a better relationship than me? Because they're not triggered. So it didn't create this severance of the heart center between the two of you. So, and you can even do this for other people. You might be able to figure out what somebody else's trigger is. Unfortunately, there's not a damn thing you can do about it because they don't want to know what their trigger is and they don't want to deal with it. And even if you tell them you're just going to trigger their triggers, then there's nothing you can do about it. But it can definitely take you off the hook that it's not just them and it's not just you. Sorry. So you want to know what your trigger. Once you know what your trigger is, like I said, let's say it's guilt. And it happens with these 6 people. Just observe yourself. Oh, there I go. Guilty again. There I go. Feeling guilty again. I'm feeling guilty. And then take the smallest, easiest point of action that you can take. Like telling your mother-in-law you don't like mashed potatoes. And then do it. Do it. But I really like the way you make the carrots. A lot of your autoimmune disorders are going to start to dissipate. You're going to feel it's going to feel yucky at first, okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat that. It's going to feel like crap. But it's a start. Now, whenever I work with my clients, and they'll be like, no, with this person, no, with that person, and how come I can't do this, and how come I can't do that? Why can't I leave my freaking boss? My job? Why can't I tell my boss that I need a raise? Because if you've got any of these triggers, it will keep you from doing anything that can set off the trigger. And then therefore, you don't get the raise, you don't get the job, you don't get a new job, you don't have a healthier relationship with your partner, with your children, anywhere. At all. Now, if you guys can do this, you're a lot better than 90% of the people out there. So give it a try. I'd like your thoughts in there too. Put in the comments. What are your triggers? Namaste. Askhollyhall.com. Go to my YouTube channel. I'm going to do a whole series on triggers.